Hello guys, welcome to the 13th video of the short HTML5 video tutorial series for absolute beginners. So in this video we're going to take a look at HTML input fields, and we are going to basically cover text input fields, number input fields, and also password input fields. So we are going to start off with text input field. So whichever type of input field you'll be interested in creating, we basically would use the HTML input element, which is a self-closing element or tag. So let's have our input element, and the HTML input element comes with an attribute called type. So what we have simply typed so far is that we want the browser to render an input element for us. And so this type attribute is what we'll use to tell the browser the specific type of input element to render. So in this case, we want the browser to render a text input field. So let's save this. And as we can see, our text input field has been rendered for us. So basically we can enter any piece of data here. So let's clean it again. And if you realize there is a problem with this, because currently as it appears, the text input field has no description whatsoever. So we can fix that by using another attribute that comes with the input element, which is called a placeholder. And so the placeholder basically allows us to specify a piece of text that is supposed to be used as a way of describing whatever type of data that is expected to be entered into our text input field. So let's say we want the person to enter full name. Let's save this. And so now as you can see, our text input field has a placeholder text of full name. But even though it has a placeholder text, it still works as before. We can enter any piece of data we want and everything is going to work well. So that is it for text input field. The next type of input field we'll be looking at is a number input field. So basically we use the same input element, so input, and then we are going to specify the type as number. Let's save this. And so the browser has again generated another input field for us, but in this situation it is not a text input field but then a number input field. And the difference here is that this number input field here will not allow anything that is non-numeric, but the text input field will allow any kind of data at all, whether it is numeric or a symbol or whatever kind of data at all it is going to accept it. But a number input field will only accept numeric values. So if I try typing anything alphabetic, it's not working, but then I can input any numeric value in it. Now we can again have a place value, we can again have a place holder text here. So let's say we want to have the text age as our place value, and as you can see, our place value text is now showing. Again, one nice thing we can have for the number input field is a way of limiting the minimum value that is allowed and also the maximum value that is acceptable in the number input field. So let's say we want the minimum value to be 4, and then we also want the maximum value to be say 10. Let's save this. And so basically what we've succeeded in doing is that from this point onwards, our number input field wouldn't accept any value that is smaller than 4, and it would also allow you to enter any value that is bigger than 10. So that is what the max value does, and also the mean value. So the mean value specifies the minimum acceptable value for your number input field, and then the max value specifies the maximum acceptable value. So finally, let's look at the password input field. So again, we are going to use our input element or tag, and we are going to specify the type of password. So let's save this, and our password input field has been generated. So the difference between the password input field and the two other types of input field we saw earlier on is that for a password input field, any piece of data that is entered is masked. So as we can see, let's try entering something like let's say John. We can see that whatever I type here, I don't actually see the characters. That is the generic nature of a password input field. Now a password input field can also have a placeholder text. So let's say we want it to have a placeholder of password. Let's save this, and as we can see, our password input field also has a placeholder text. So guys, I think that is going to be it for this video, and if you have any further questions about any kind of HTML input field, please leave it in the comment section below. And if for any reason you have any kind of comment at all, you can also feel free and leave it in the comment section below. In the next video, we're going to be taking a look at how to create buttons in HTML. And I also like to add that if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please do try and subscribe so that you'll be the first to know when I upload the next video. Bye for now.